All right, with The Killer being finally released on Netflix, let's rank the films of one David Fincher. Just for the heck of it, why not? We're gonna go from my least favorite to my favorites. Spoiler alert: a lot of good movies in here. A lot of good movies. He rarely misses. And speaking of when he misses, it's really only missed one time for me, and that is with Mank. Unfortunately, Mank is number 12 on the list of David Fincher movies. And I feel like I'm in the popular team on this one. It's not a beloved movie per se. Everyone kind of praises Amanda Seyfried for this performance that she gives, but Gary Oldman's doing a good job as well. But kind of just boring and long, and it's just not really. It doesn't feel like a David Fincher movie to me, and it's definitely the outlier, I think, of his filmography. And when we get to The Killer, I think that plays a big part in The Killer script as well. But number 11, in C, we'll go Alien 3, his debut film. Not a bad film by any means, but a flawed one, I'll say. Not particularly on the level of the first two Alien movies by any means, but good. Has a lot of good things going on. But Fincher's experience directing this movie clearly shaped the rest of his career. For the better of you and for the better of all of us, because now we get David Fincher movies. Number 10, I'm going to go also in C. I'll put it in C. I'm going to go The Game. I like The Game a lot. I like it more than Alien 3, I will say. The Game is fun. It's kind of just some trash movie that Fincher is able to put his more Fincher-esque, darkness into. Douglas is giving a great performance as well. A super interesting concept that I think really works for this director and for Michael Douglas in particular. It's pretty good. It's not perfect by any means. I know there are some game defenders out there, but I'm not really one of them. I just think it's a really good, solid movie. Number 9, in the B tier, we're going to go with The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. One of the movies that I hadn't seen before The Killer. It was the most recent one that I watched to complete his filmography. A good movie. I like it a lot. It's long and kind of drawn out. I think Pitt and Blanchett are absolutely killing the performances. That third act is kind of just on another level of really, really good Fincher directing and script writing in particular. I know he didn't write the script, but the third act is absolutely devastating. I think everything in that third act is effective and kind of justifies the first two acts, even though I think the middle act kind of lags, except for the boat scene, which if you haven't seen, I won't spoil. But outside of that, I think the second act kind of drags a bit, which kind of drags us down to a B for me. But you know what? That's okay. That's the only B movie I have. Let's move on to number 8, Panic Room. Yes, Panic Room. Really down the middle thriller from him that is really, really enjoyable. Jodie Foster and Case 2 just hamming it up, giving great performances. Forrest Whitaker the same. Jared Leto being weird Jared Leto. One of the more satisfying Jared Leto performances, I would say, given his character. But really good. Not as heavy, in my opinion, on the themes of Fincher. This one has a happy ending, which I feel like a lot of his movies kind of don't do happy endings. Spoiler alert for Panic Room, I guess, a very old movie. Everyone's fine. The bad guys go to jail. The Jodie Foster's fine. Jodie Foster and Case 2 survive, and everything's all good. And that's Panic Room. It's really, really good. When you take some not trash, but just some very simple concept like Panic Room, like The Killer, and you give it to Fincher, he's able to bring it to another level, in my opinion. And that will bring me to number 7 on my list, Fight Club. Only number 7. Yes, Fight Club is only number 7. An all-time great. Not this time all-time great, but an all-time great. I really do love Fight Club. I think it's fantastic. Again, all these movies for me are pretty much like 4.5, 8s or 9s for me in terms of the Fincher rankings. Fight Club is fantastic. What do I have to add that hasn't already been said? Performances are great. Norton's great. Helena Bonham Carter's great. Brad Pitt, career-defining performance in my opinion from him. And this is where Fincher's themes really start to come into play in terms of what he's like trying to say about capitalism and consumerism and all this stuff, and it really comes into form in this almost perfect movie, I would say. Unfortunately, he can't interpret art for everyone, so some people kind of take Fight Club the wrong way. Obviously, it's a little bit toxic nowadays, but so be it. It's a good movie. Number 6, we're gonna go with The Killer. Yes, I just watched it today. It's been released on Netflix today, and in my opinion, The Killer is a direct response to Mank. This is how I interpreted the movie. The Killer is all about this perfectionist, this control freak that poses himself as this man that just has all aspects of his life in his grasp, all aspects of his job as a contract killer in his grasp. All of a sudden, he does one job, Mank, and it goes wrong. He misses his shot, messes up, Mank, not a good movie, and his life pretty much turns into chaos, despite the fact that he keeps telling himself how in control he is and how he has all these mantras that he keeps telling himself over and over again to give the illusion or the fallacy of control. And that is very much the themes of David Fincher movies, and the stories behind them, how controlling he is and how you want to do a million takes with him. I think The Killer is the direct response to Mank. And guess what? It's a really, really good movie. If you haven't seen The Killer on Netflix, go watch The Killer. I won't spoil it any further. Number 5, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Fantastic. We need to get Rooney Mara in more movies. We need to get her in better movies. I looked at her filmography. I watched Una last night with Ben Mendelsohn and Rooney Mara. Good movie. Not fantastic. We need to get Rooney Mara in more movies, in my opinion. And also Daniel Craig. He's having fun doing Knives Out and whatever. But let's get those two in more movies because they're fantastic. This movie really is able to play up the dread of kind of the themes going on here. The town and Stellan Skarsgård given a hammed up villain performance. It's absolutely fantastic stuff. I don't have much to say about The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo other than it's fantastic. All right, let's move into S. We have 4 films left, but we only have 2 in S. Let's start with number 4, which is 7. Fincher's Arrival, pretty much it's in the movie scene. Dark, absolutely no, bright side of life in this movie. Gwyneth Paltrow, see what's in the box, yada, yada, yada. Morgan Freeman plays a tired detective. It might be Freeman's best performance of all time, in my opinion. He is absolutely magnificent. The scene of him and Gwyneth Paltrow in the diner is top tier goated in terms of performances. It's just absolutely on another level, in my opinion. Number 3, Gone Girl. Gone Girl is S. Number 3, Gone Girl. Great movie. I have not rewatched this in a long time, and I think I need to because, especially kind of with the whole Ben Affleck-ness of it, Ben Affleck coming back into the meme form these past couple of years, it's definitely deserving of a rewatch. And it's honestly a perfect movie. That's the thing about 7 and Gone Girl. They're both perfect movies. They're 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, would watch again. But these 2 movies left. They are both easily in my top 25 of all time, and possibly even my top 10. They're in my top 10 favorite movies of all time, easily. I'm going to go with number 2, and it's going to be The Social Network. And this is tough, because I think if you asked me on another day, I could put Social Network at 1 and Zodiac at 2, but I'm going to put Social Network at 2, and I'm going to put Zodiac at number 1. Zodiac, I think, is the defining David Fincher film, and Social Network is the defining Aaron Sorkin film. It's both of these guys in these 2 movies, but Sorkin for Social Network, but also Fincher operating at the peak of his power. But Zodiac in particular, because it seemed like Zodiac really, struggled to get this made, and then all of a sudden it's this box office flop. It's ignored by the Oscars, and all of a sudden, 7 to 10 years later, Zodiac is this cult classic, quote unquote, that people are saying, is this Fincher's masterpiece? And I'm like, yeah, of course it is. It's been his masterpiece. Where have you been? I've been on the Zodiac train for a while, and I'm happy more people are here now, because everyone's been on the Social Network train, and the fact that did not win Best Picture, yada, 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 just that feels that even harder. But the fact that Zodiac took so long to get, this following is really surprising to me. But, overall, These are two truly perfect movies. They are absolutely goated, in my top 10 of almost all time, I would say. At least they're definitely both in the top 25. So, you give it up to Fincher. Great work on both of these, obviously. And that is my David Fincher movie rankings. How did I do? I think I did pretty good. Maybe I was a little harsh on Mank. I don't ever plan on rewatching Mank, though, so, that's an issue. But I mean, the rest of all of these are good. Everything's watchable. Even Mank is watchable, even though if I didn't really enjoy it that much. But that is it. Be on the lookout for more videos and such, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.